Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of weeks ago you did some work with Omos,
Right.
right? The big guy. And I wanted to ask you something. I didn't realize. I was reading up on him today. It's kind of an interesting figure. Former basketball player,
Yes.
Central Florida, University of Central Florida, or something.
No, that's Taco Fall played there.
No, but where did he play though? I thought he.
I think he's Nigerian.
He's Nigerian, but I thought he played in the States. All right.
I don't know.
I'll look. My research is flawed. But anyway, what's not flawed is the fact that he's a big motherfucker, and he's been there for 2 years. I didn't realize this. And the piece I was reading, they were positing that Vince he's a stubborn cat, I guess, right? So he gets something in his head and he's going to make it work. And so they were talking about or writing about the inability to get him in the sweet spot where they wanted him as a big guy. And that he may be, but Vince stayed with him, but he may be more in jeopardy now as Trips might have a little less of a tolerance. So I'm going to ask you as a big guy, what is it that keeps a big guy intriguing year over year? If you could fly off something 11 different ways, it's one thing, but to keep a big guy scary, what do you got to do?
Well, I don't think you put him against two guys on your number one broadcast, and don't even announce who these two guys are, and just be, well, it really doesn't fucking matter because this match doesn't fucking matter because we know what the outcome is. I don't think that helps.
How about the headgear? Did that?
Yeah, the headgear
add
guy.
Any credibility?
Yeah,
that something maybe was going to happen there.
Yeah, especially when he had a chance to do anything, he jumped on his back, not single leg dive or anything. Nothing, nothing headgear worthy was produced there.
Could have had so much fun with that. I would have given them names of classic jobbers like AJ Petruzzi, Bill Mulkey, Rusty Brooks.
They should have never took him again away from AJ, but they turned AJ baby.
Styles,
so
AJ.
Yeah, I mean that's where you learn so much. I learned so much being Sean's bodyguard. But it's a different, and he's a different animal too, man. He's a lot big. He's a legitimate. Went to South Florida is where he went.
Oh, it's South Florida.
That's where it was, South Florida. He's a legitimate 7'2", probably.
Yeah.
That's a bigger. He's just a bigger. Sometimes it's just. We always had our philosophy in the car was the only way you can get over is chicks got to want to fuck you and guys got to want to be you.
Be like you, right? It's the old actor thing.
Yeah. So it's
the James Dean deal.
So if you like if they made him like instead of a giant, if they made him like his family was incredibly rich in mineral rights, and because he's articulate, it's like. He's out there going, wah,
the monster.
Yeah, it's like
thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
But let's look at some of the big guys, right? From the past, present company excluded, okay? Because we're never going to be able to be totally objective. You mentioned Gonzalez before,
right?
Okay. Kali more recently. Was a Big Show, and if you go back for the Andre Stud, big guys that were successful versus big guys that had a shelf life. Now, Andre is a totally different category because he was the novelty act. Okay, right. He was never considered to really be assimilated and melted into the melting pot of the roster. He came into town. It was like Andre's here.
He was just an attraction,
right? But guys that were roster guys, like Big Show. Big Show was over.
Yep.
Why was Paul over, but like Kali, like other than the dance, I guess, like it never would have worked. Is that all about the mic?
Yeah, Paul could talk.
Right. Okay. So if you get sent to developmental, right, and say, Kev, what's the magic here? It's focus more on Mike with the big guys, but there's a natural thing too. I mean, focus on the mic. There are some guys you maybe just can never make interesting on the mic. They don't come across. There's just something. They could talk their heads off. You could give them a script. You could have Piper write it. It's just never going to happen. There's not a magnetism to some guys.
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got to do it. You got to find out what they like. You got to find out what their interests are. I mean, you're going to be a lot more interesting if you're talking about things that are interesting to you.